This is Majin, and let's do some comic reviews today. This is going to be a short week today. We got Batman Eternal, Avengers 31, Nova 18, and Uncanny X-Men. Let's look at Batman Eternal, okay? I look at this cover, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool, but if I'm going to be talking about what's going on with Batgirl. I open this thing up, and I'm like, what kind of art is this? Now, don't get me wrong. I think the art is actually kind of good, especially the way it's very stylized, and it's the way they draw things. He has a very interesting take on what's going, like how to do panel layouts, bodies, definitely expressions. I give him props, for that. But for me, for the Batman title, I don't know. I mean, like, this page here, it looks sinister, but I'm thinking, like, in the right hands, this would look even more dark and twisted and evil. And of course, let's talk about just the overall lack of backgrounds. I mean, for the most part, they just went to Photoshop and hit different shades of color in a lot of cases. So that was rather disappointing. Now, well, along with this Batgirl thing, we also get a little bit with Alfred and his daughter, and then we also get a little bit on Cluemaster and her daughter. I should say not her daughter, his daughter. His Cluemaster's daughter has been investigating her dad, and she is uncovering some things. So, I don't know, it's like, technically I think that this issue would have been an okay issue, but for me it was like culture shock for the art. I don't know, I kind of just wish that it was a little bit more traditional, and, but with this storyline, you have to expect that they're going to have to go through many different artists, many different styles, and for me personally, I just have to get used to it and accept it. And, that's how come, like, I can't say it's bad, but at the same time, for me, it was a little distracting. Avengers number 31. They're still going through time. Nothing really, I'll be honest, nothing really happens. This time we actually get a little bit because we go to the Ultron world of the future. So that part was a little bit interesting. But for the most part, at the very end, I think it sums it up pretty well. It's the, let's see, what does they say? Does anybody know what the hell's going on around here? I don't know what the hell is going on around here because they just keep jumping through time. And it's not really dealing with what's important yet. So hopefully the payout will be at the end when they explain everything. This is one of those things, it's not like a bad book, but, I'm thinking in the grand scheme of things, let's move this storyline along a little bit because we got a lot more to cover. And for me, it seems to be building up towards the end, and it's issues like this that seem like it's kind of prolonging the ending, so this way they can get it timed, so this way it can hit the right sales moments, so this way they can go from this to Axis. But I don't know, we'll see. It's not a horrible read, but I'm telling you this much: anybody who picks this book up cold from the shelf, like like somebody who reads and goes, "Oh wow, this is original Sin crossover," no clue what's going on, none whatsoever. Nova number 18. I have to admit, this was a really strong read, and this was actually. I was seriously considering this to be the good book of the week. For me, this thing really hit everything that I would ever want to make this book fun. It's like, for whatever reason, the art suddenly just got a heck of a lot better for me, especially in the facial expressions, the way the panel layouts were done, the way, like, when Nova finds out about the murder of the Watcher, that was great, the look. And then he goes to the Avengers because they know what's going on, and this is like a crucial piece that it's really been missing out of Original Sin. Because out of Original Sin, it's like Orb appears, and the battle part was missed, and Midas is captured. Don't know what's going on, but this actually shows stuff that's going on, and for me, again, it goes back to the facial expressions and the way, like, to me, Nova is like what Peter Parker Spider-Man was like when he was first starting out. And for me, that's what made it, like, really enjoyable. And it's like, it really showed, like, hey, there's a difference between these heroes and Nova. And he's just for me, that's what was missing from this book, because here he is flying up into space with Beta Ray Bill. He makes some errors and stuff, but he looks like a regular hero. But now, with this fight here, he looks like what he is. He's just a kid who got powers, and he's just learning his place. And the secret that he learns about his dad really does scar him. And Tony's an ass, man. That's all I gotta say. Tony is a first-class ass. But I really, really enjoyed it. Uncanny X-Men number 22. Finally, we get to the end of the battle between S.H.I.E.L.D., X-Men, and the unknown person from the future. And I really enjoyed it. It had just enough explosions and lasers. Got some cool-looking Sentinels fighting. And we got an interesting resolution as to who the main villain was for this. It kind of makes sense in the grand scheme of things, and there's some pretty good dialogue in here too. Overall, I enjoyed it. I thought that the ending to get to this point seemed a bit long, but I'm telling you, I'm so happy we got to this. Do I think overall, though, this was a strong story that really stood out? It doesn't really stand out. I mean, you have to look at it this way. Bendis is one of Marvel's top writers. The X-Men is one of the premier superhero books. I mean, granted, if you look at the sales now, it doesn't really look like it, but years ago, it was. And for me, I don't think it's living up to that. I think it's still missing key elements. I don't know quite what it is that would help this book. I mean, part of me thinks that, Scott's playing the ass is really appealing to me, but at the same time, I think like stuff like that alienates a lot of the old X-Men fans. And I think his attitude towards S.H.I.E.L.D. probably didn't play out as well as it should have. And that was another probably thing that was holding me back from really thinking that this was a great read. But I did enjoy it, so I was overall happy. Anyways, that's the reviews for today. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Like, share. Let me know what you thought about some of your books that you read. And I'll have more videos later. Facebook. Oh, shit. Almost totally forgot to give you a code. Don't forget there's the Facebook and Crunchyroll anime review link. If this thing would just go into focus, because that'd be really nice. Try this again. There we go. I'm going to get you one more. Alright, anyways, that's it for today. More views later. Until